No, that's freaked me out. I don't want to do the talking at the beginning. I didn't like that at all.
You started it. You got to finish it now.
That's all, folks.
So just because you did our little introductory ritual, which is like syncing up the audio, which I normally do, now you've done it and you feel very strong.
Well, it's freaked me out because we've done what? How many have we done? We've done 80 fucking podcasts, or nearly 90. Oh, I guess technically, I don't know anymore. 80, yeah. 91. We've done a number of them. Oh, it is 90 because you see where I've swapped those numbers around. That's wrong.
This is podcast gold. I can't believe we weren't nominated in the British Podcast Awards with stuff like this.
It's because we do too much of our admin on
air.
Recording. Yeah. But this is the start of a fun bit of co-directors where there's 2 co-directors in a row.
Yeah.
Following 2 co-pilots. Because while we're recording this was meant to be out.
This is
but
true.
We can't read spreadsheets.
It's a very, as I've said over many, many previous episodes, it's a very confusing spreadsheet. It's a very confusing spreadsheet.
I didn't think it was until we realised
it is.
That there's a column that just says release date, and for no reason at all, I was looking at a different film, trying to work out. I was like, oh, this one's coming out in like June. So if we'd had my way, there'd have been nothing in May.
We can't have that. We have 35 followers on Instagram. We can't let down, most of which are probably bots.
Shut up, they cost me money.
You only bought 35.
I wanted it to be realistic. So what are we talking about today?
This is the feature directorial debut of Sofia Coppola, whose name you might have heard before, as we have just discussed, as you didn't know
she was in Star Wars Episode 1.
Yeah, no, fuck that.
Well, I mean, it's her biggest credit.
You didn't know that her dad directed 2 of the 3 Godfather movies, the 3rd of which she directed, and he also directed Apocalypse Now, which I just said to you might be what I think of as the objectively and technically the best film ever made, because I've watched it I think only twice, but both times it's a 3-hour trek, but if you just sit there and let it wash over you, it is fucking incredible. I love that film, but we're not here to talk.
I feel that way about Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Objectively the best tourism adverts I've ever seen.
But yes, Sofia Coppola. Have you watched anything else that Sofia Coppola has directed?
Yes.
What have you watched?
Not any of the ones that you think it will be. What do you think I've watched?
Right, so we'll have a quick rundown. Right, so this short film was...
2 of them maybe.
There's a short film that she did before Virgin Suicide. This is Lick the Star. So Virgin Suicide, I know for a fact you've seen.
Shit. You've got me. It's only that one. It's not. I have seen another one. I think maybe 2 other ones. I don't know.
She did Lost in Translation, which is brilliant. Marie Antoinette, a film called Somewhere.
I might have seen Marie Antoinette. I might have seen it.
I think you've probably seen The Bling Ring because it's got Emma Watson in it.
Yes.
It's too easy. It's too predictable. If in doubt, and there's a trivia question of what do you think Richard experienced, go the Harry Potter route every time.
Yeah, I mean, it's also how with other big franchises like Marvel, which has been exhausting watching all the films those guys have ever done. Because, I mean, some of them are just... I mean, it still baffles me that to do that I had to watch 8 Mile again, which was... just felt wrong. Like, How did Papa Doc become a superhero?
How did Papa Doc become fucking Captain America?
Oh shit, yeah. I mean, Endgame spoilers, but shit, yeah.
Oh, it's been out for, I don't know when it comes out, but later. It's been out for a while. If you've not seen Endgame, shut the fuck up.
Well, I mean, yeah, he's had anyway. I saw it twice on the opening weekend, so...
You saw it twice in the same 24 hours?
Actually, it was twice in the same 12 hours.
That is disgusting.
Well, I mean, alright, so I'd already booked it, and then my flatmate was like, oh, I can only see it on Saturday morning, unless you want to go during the week. And I was like, nah. And so he was just like, yeah, let's do it. And then that's when I realised, like, oh shit, I'm going to say the same. I literally came home from seeing Endgame for the first time, went to bed, woke up the next day to go and see Endgame again.
And you still agree that Professor Hulk's rubbish?
I never fucking said that.
Oh no, someone at work was saying that, and I agreed. I don't really like the whole Professor Hulk thing.
But it's a good end to his, like, little secret trilogy that he had. Because he had, like, starting from the end of Age of Ultron, he had, like, this little 3-film arc. Because they can't make one film for him, because Universal are cunts.
This is a very good discussion with Sofia Coppola.
Oh yeah, no, Marvel is a good segue onto Virgins.
I see what you did there. Right. Virgin Suicide.
Yeah, this is weird, because every time I've Googled this film, I've felt like I'm on some sort of watch list now. Because it's such a weird phrase to type into Google, just like, I want to watch Virgin Suicides.
You got to
because I keep missing. Because Google doesn't do the. It doesn't search on it. It doesn't matter. So I want to watch this now because I've been googling. Yeah.
I should point out I've still got that cold that I had 2 weeks ago.
Well, no, I think what you've forgotten is that you're going to have this cold next week when Loveless comes out.
Yeah. Oh, it's 2 in a row. Yeah, okay. So last week.
Yeah, it's 2 in a row, and we're recording them in the wrong order. It's amazing how easy it is to confuse your brain.
In my, at the minute, adult state, it's very, very simple. So Sofia Coppola, yeah, Virgin Suicide. I really like this film. Like, I was a bit worried about it because
I liked it way more than I thought it would. Because the title screams, "Fuck this shit. Where are all the happy films?"
Yeah, but actually.
But this film isn't sad, although it should be a lot sadder than it is.
Yeah. I mean, my sort of hackles on it because a couple of weekends ago when we were all around my flat, Nick's girlfriend Amy, I think we mentioned in front of her, oh, we're going to be watching Virgin Suicide, and her reaction was, oh no, you're not watching that one, are you? So I got really scared. I was like, oh no, it's going to be horrible, isn't it? But it's
I don't think it was
weirdly positive, I think. Well,
apart from all the suicide, it's a really happy film. Well, if you just cut off like 20 minutes at the start and 20 minutes at the end, you've just got a nice little high school film.
Yeah, like it's a coming of age story, which if we were gonna make a Venn diagram of things that we like the whole static camera, unreliable narrator, and then my sort of third in that trifecta would be coming of age story. So
I mean, this is like what happens when you put Ratcatcher in America.
Except it's nowhere near as sad as Ratcatcher.
No, but there's death at the beginning and then death at the end.
Many deaths.
And in the middle, there's some happy. A little bit of happy.
That's a very, very, very good comparison. One that had not occurred to me. Well done. Would you like a film degree?
Well, I mean, I knew they were easy, but I didn't think they were that easy.
That's basically all you have to do to get a degree in films. It's like that, isn't it? There you go. Yes.
Right back. You just keep talking about this. I'm just going to go knock out a film degree.
Well, by the time I finish talking about this, you should have been able to do one. So, yes. Anyway, so there are 5 girls who live with their very, 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 very strict, to the point they're like repressive parents.
The thing, it seems like at the start that's until the first suicide attempt of the youngest, Cecilia.
Yep, that's the one.
Until that first suicide attempt, they didn't seem to be super overprotective.
Well, they close in after.
Yeah, they start. It gets a lot worse.
Something that actually occurred to me, because Cecilia makes attempts on her own life. She is then sent to
Danny DeVito, the doctor.
Yeah, and who does some Rorschach tests with her, right? Here's something that occurred to me. Who designs the patterns for Rorschach tests, or is it entirely random?
I think.
I know they're symmetrical, but I
guess at some point. I don't think. I'm going to assume that they don't just make their own. Everyone's got the same set. I'd guess. I imagine it's just you drop some ink on the page and you fold it up.
I don't really
I guess
know.
that's how you get them symmetrical.
Rorschach test design at random.
See, the problem is because I don't think those tests really say a lot about someone.
Well, I think they're incredibly subjective, because even as the person answers what they think it is, it's up to the psychologist to make the decision about, okay, well, this is probably where that connection comes from.
Yeah, but they're basically like a BuzzFeed test. You can you can get whatever result you want with your answer.
Number 7 will really shock you. But yeah, so Cecilia has an attempt on life.
And then they have the most awkward children's party I've ever seen.
Now, here's something that I was thinking about today that actually I've thought about, and I can't think of a single example of it. There is a character who shows up to this party who has Down syndrome, and he is treated solely as one of the gang and good entertainment value. They're all friendly to him, they're all mates. He sings a silly song and he makes them all laugh and stuff. And I was thinking, I can't think of a single film where there is a character who has Down syndrome who isn't portrayed in a positive light. And I'm sure there are examples of it, but as I've found with real life, my brother's mates and people my brother went to school with, they only really had decent things to say about him. So I was like, that's kind of nice to see that in a film, because we had I don't even know, as we're gonna talk about next week with American Horror Story. That's a guess.
In 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Oh, for fuck's right. Anyway.
I mean, it's the closest you've ever been.
Thanks very much. But with Addie in that, you got a really... She becomes one of my favourite characters in that show. I can't think of any sort of negative portrayals of Downs. I was like, oh shit, that's actually really fucking cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my little detour about the party. So there's the party, and then she jumps out the fucking window. Well,
the thing, as soon as she's like, may I be excused, I'm like, she's going to kill herself.
I mean, to be fair, I was expecting it, because the film is cool.
Yeah, I didn't come into this film expecting not to see someone kill themselves. I was just like, it's gonna happen. And there was a little bit of me that was like, is this just going to be a film of just her failing over and over again until she fucking nails it?
Is it a comedy where it just gets more and more elaborate ways that it's
yeah, it's like A Million Ways to Die in the House.
The Virgin Suicide, or 1 Million Ways to Die in the House.
I mean, the film ends up giving you 5 solid choices. There's jump onto your oddly pointy fence.
And weirdly, the thing that...
Weirdly die instantly.
But also remain balanced on the fence. Because the way she lands on it, she must have landed perfectly square onto that railing for her body to stay there, because then James Woods comes out and he's just supporting her weight. He's not like...
I mean, it doesn't even look like it just looks like he's hovering. He's just like, get her.
But yeah, so then this causes the parents to close the girls off even further, which for the group of boys who we're being told the story from the perspective, it just makes them seem more mysterious. And
yeah.
so then you get the little...
That's the thing that I like, is it's the story is all from their point of view. And like, I love the fact that it just shows that how any like kid would feel, maybe not in that situation, but like just in general. Like, when I remember being a teenager and just being like,
that was a long time ago for you.
I was just like, I don't really understand what the fuck girls do and how their minds work.
Yeah.
And nothing's changed.
Yeah, that's very true.
I really like the fact that they don't have like one character who just gets it and is like trying to explain it to everyone. They're just like, and you have like the old like you have Trip, who's just like, I understand, I'm the best, but he's also a massive twat. He's just lying.
It took me a really long time to realise that was Josh Hartnett. Like, I know that guy from somewhere. I really recognise him.
Because he looks so young.
Yeah, it's mad. Because weirdly, Kirsten Dunst doesn't actually look
that different.
No, because I was thinking
she looks like well, the first film I saw her in was Spider-Man, and that was like what, 2001, 2002?
2002, I think. So
yeah, that's 3 years after this film came out. So that's the Kirsten Dunst I see, because I haven't seen her in many other things.
Well, how was it? Yeah, she's in Interview with the Vampire, and she was like a proper little kid in that.
Oh yeah, no, I've seen that, but
So how old must she have been for Spider-Man then? She must have been still pretty young.
Early 20s, I'd imagine.
Oh my god,
she was born in 88, so she's 2 years older than me.
She was in Jumanji.
No, she started working in 1988. She's 37. So she was...
Yeah, so 2 years older than you, yeah.
So she was born in 1982. This film came out in 99, so she'd have been 17.
Wow. That's crazy.
So then she'd have been, 22 in Spider-Man. No. 20 in Spider-Man. I can do really easy maths.
Her story with Trip, that's a pretty good bit of storytelling. And then the fact that when Trip like dumps her, it's like
what do you mean when he just like ghosts entirely? Just like is just not there.
Like
like that's the thing. And they have this older Trip like giving like an interview.
Yeah.
And he's just like, and I never saw her again. And then he's just not in the rest of the film at all.
Yeah, it's sort of gaslight. It's like, I never saw her again. It's like, mate, you literally left her in the middle of a field.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be like it. I genuinely thought it was just going to be, okay, cool, that's that. I thought that was going to be the moment she was like, well, I guess someone will just find me dead here. Because I spent a lot of the middle part of the film just being like, alright, cool, so... Because the narration is talking in past tense, so you know they all die. And when it... Because it says at the beginning, it's like, Cecilia was the first to go. I was like, cool, so they kind of go one at a time.
Yeah, that's how you think it's going to happen, not like one and then fall.
Which I think it built a weird amount of suspense in quite a happy film. For like the middle bit's relatively happy until like she misses curfew, and then it's just like, nope, you don't leave this house anymore.
Yeah, so she starts having sex with people on the roof.
And the boys watch, obviously, because do all American teenage boys have telescopes?
I think so, because the number of films that I've seen, people spying on people with telescopes.
Yeah, I think maybe the saddest point of the whole film, aside from all the suicides, is like the father's just sort of descent into like just sheer I can't be fucking bothered with this anymore.
Yeah.
Because like he ends up losing his job. I think because like there was a great scene where one of the teachers like comes in and is just like, oh, your girls haven't been at school for like this amount of weeks, and he's just like, oh, have you tried looking out back? And then just walks off.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, he does not give a shit anymore. But I really like this sort of relationship that the girls and the boys have.
Yeah, it's
without ever actually talking to each other. They just like play records and stuff over the phone to each other.
That stuff was lovely. I was like, oh, that's fucking brilliant. That I really, really liked that.
Yeah, but by this point, I was getting awfully aware that I was running out of film.
Yeah, okay.
And these girls were all still alive.
But I really like the sequence where, like, yeah, we tried thinking up really convoluted ways of getting messages to it, and then we just tried the simplest one and rang their phone.
That's the thing. That's very much like a teenager-y thing to do. Just being like, oh, I need to try and, like, who am I going to need to pass a note to get it into the house? Can we give it
landlines? touch a balloon and then let the balloon. Oh no, because it could just float away. Yeah, those sort of mad schemes you try and come up with.
Yeah. What if we train a rat to scurry into their house and hopefully they don't have traps?
And it chews the cable off the time machine and then Ant-Man
Yeah, but then there's obviously, you know, the big finale.
They make the plan to take one of the boys' father's car over, rescue the girls, and drive off into the sunset. And then it goes really fucking bad.
Well, yeah, because they hear a noise in the basement, and then they just go down to where the party was, and then they're just like mucking around. And there's just a moment that all, like, three of them just kind of stop, and I'm like, oh, finally. And then he just takes a step back, and there's just defeat. But you don't ever see it. You just see
parts
the hint.
You see like feet or like a hand laying out on the floor, or in Lux's case, it's the car, isn't it? The garage opens and the car's, got fumes everywhere.
Yeah, the thing that I must have missed, because obviously the wiki has who did what, but so there was hanged,
it's not clear.
Head in the oven, sleeping pills, and then Lux is the carbon monoxide poisoning from the car.
She's the only one you know exactly how she, because she says, I'm going to go wait in the car.
Yeah, but the thing is, I genuinely thought this might just be like a happily ever after, and then I was like, oh wait, nope.
But the thing that I really admire, and even in the narration, it acknowledges this. It's like, yeah, we knew that, we loved those girls, but we know we'll never know why they did what they did. I think that's really brave, just to be like, we're not giving you an explanation. It's just happened.
It's very not Hollywood to do that, to just kind of go, yeah, well, that's that. See you next time.
Well, I thought, particularly in that final sequence, it really just shows like the disconnect between the generations, and you see all the fucking the party in suburbia, and it's themed on asphyxiation, because that's how a few of the girls died, is through various means of asphyxiation. So you see people walking around that fucking glitzy party in their big old mansions wearing gas masks with glitter on them, and
like they've just like forgotten entirely.
It's like because the neighbours, the most important thing that the neighbours think of is, she only killed herself to not have to look at those curtains anymore. And it really just nails the real nastiness of small village, like keeping up with the Joneses mentality of like, oh well, such and such has done this, or gossiping bitches around a fucking, suburbia.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I liked is that you see Danny DeVito as the therapist, like quite near the start of the film, but you don't see him after he sort of goes, it was just a cry for help. And then no one ever goes back to him, just being like, mate, you were a little bit wrong there. You are not good at this. Stick to running a bar.
Stick to being the Penguin.
Yeah. But I really enjoyed it.
I
probably more than I
it.
should have. I don't know. It's one of those things that I feel like I shouldn't enjoy a film about it. But then I really like 13 Reasons, so
I don't think there's nothing wrong with liking it. It's just that it feels like it should be a difficult watch. But I don't
that's the
think
thing that
it is.
that's the problem I have with enjoying it is that I'm like, I should struggle to watch this, not just be like, oh yeah, no, it'd be fine if you just cut off the beginning and the end. You could show this to kids. I mean, probably not, but
I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with being presented with a taboo topic in such a way that means you can enjoy the story because it's a human story. It's like Game of Thrones. You forgive Game of Thrones for having incest in it because you're invested in the characters.
yeah. And if Jamie had just pushed a little harder, no one would have known. I mean, everyone else would also be really fucked. But see, I think the thing that I really enjoyed about this film is it didn't make out like it had all the answers. No. It just kind of went, well, this is how these boys would feel about it. So
yeah, I mean, if anything, it makes the sense of mystery that they have for the girls. It just makes it that much stronger. It's like, okay, now this is the most mysterious thing they could do, where they definitely aren't going to get answers about it.
Yeah, it's
this is the thing.
It's weird because it's like a strangely. Maybe beautiful might be the wrong word, but like it's a strangely wondrous situation where you're like, because I was left at the end of the film being like, I can kind of see why, maybe, but there must have been another way to do it, and it's like there must have been something else that, because it's told from the boy's perspective, that you don't see. And maybe it was something other than just the obvious, like, family repression stuff. Maybe there was something else going on that, because the boys didn't know about it, we don't see.
Yeah, I think that's what I admire most about it. Is it really does give that sense of mystery, and there's a poignancy to it that is just sort of is floating throughout it, but at the same time, like, because you go into it knowing it's called The Virgin Suicide, I think it makes like the story between Lux and Trip that much sweeter, and the party, it's such a mediocre, boring, banal party, but for everyone that was there, it was hugely important.
Yeah.
I can't really. This is the thing that I'm realising. I'm really struggling to articulate why I liked this. I just know I loved it.
Yeah, so am I. That's the thing, because I think I really admire the fact they just stuck to its viewpoint as well. They just went, well, here are the facts that the boys have. That's all you'll get to see.
Yeah.
You don't get to see like a sneaky scene of them planning it. You just get to see the result. You get to see what the boys saw. And I think that really helped add to the mystery, because I finished it and I was like, oh, there might be an explanation about it somewhere on the internet. But then I realised that I didn't want an explanation. I just wanted to just be like, oh, cool, that's that.
Yeah, that's the story's told. The story is told. We don't get the answers, because you don't get the answers in real life, do you? When something weird or extraordinary happens, you don't always understand exactly what happened and why it happened.
Yeah, so what I'm really looking forward to is the Virgin Suicides 2,
Electric Boogaloo,
where it's just all the boys.
The Virgin Suicides 2, Suicide Harder.
Yeah,
I really liked it. If this is when we do like films of the year, if this isn't in it, I'll be very, very surprised.
So will I, and I'll probably force you into Suicide Pact, and it'll be fine.
Yeah, no, it's wicked. I'm intrigued as to what else Sofia Coppola has done, because I've actually not seen Godfather Part 3. Also, real quickly, one of the boys...
It's Hayden Christensen.
Yeah.
I know, I've been trying to think of a way to bring it up, but I already brought up episode 1.
That's how I'm going to sachet that one
into... Well, seeing as I did all of the, the build-up, I think you should read the spreadsheet. And tell us what's coming next.
Okay.
Top hint, it's literally the one we just recorded.
Okay, so the next one is really boring. Don't bother listening to it.
No, listen to it. Listen to us tear that film apart.
We didn't really tear it apart because it sort of does it itself. All we did was it's just...
we pointed at it and went,
nothing.
Look at that.
Yeah, look at it. It's nothing. It's slow. Nothing's happening. It's like watching a painting. But actually, no, that's bad because the painting...
That's spoilers for the podcast.
So yeah, that's the next co-directors here.
And that's in a week because we fucked this up. So you've had two co-pilots. Now you've got 2 co-directors, and then, providing we don't fuck anything else up, back to normal.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's the next co-pilots? That one.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. It's the same here because again, the next co-pilots will be Salem and American Horror Story, which we discuss in the Loveless. Well, not discuss. We mentioned that's what's going to be the next co-pilot. It just so happens that, like we said,
it's just still the next co-pilots because
Jesus, this is confusing.
I don't. It's not that bad.
It really is.
Like it's just a list, and all you have to do is go, oh, what one have we just done? Normally it's what one have we just done, and then you have to look past the one that we did about an hour ago, and then go, oh, that's the next. Oh, we've already recorded. Okay, right, we fucked it.
There you go. It's very confusing. Anyway, that's enough of it. I'm gonna. It will not surprise you to learn that I've done this entire recording with 2 bits of toilet roll stuffed up my nose to stop the snot running out.
I did think your voice had changed somewhat.
Well, I suddenly realised it. I was like, oh shit, I could just instead of surreptitiously and silently trying to wipe the snot from my nostrils, I'll just bung them up.
So, instead of letting them naturally
flow,
just get blocked on their own, I'll just block them up myself.
I used homemade tampons for my nose.
I'm trying to think, would there be a name for that? No bonds?
Nostrillettes?
No ponds.
Oh, I'm quite pleased with that. Nostrillettes, I'm having that.
Yeah. Now, see if there's a market.
Dear Dragons, I come to you Right, let's fuck off. Bye.
Bye.